Now we're going to look at bar graphs, and we're going to use our steps to success to help us answer questions using a bar chart or a bar graph. So looking at our steps to success, step 1 says, what is the graph telling us? So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the graph and figure out what it's trying to tell us. So the title is always a good place to start. Most used technology. So the graph is telling us all about the most used technology in the world. So down at the bottom, our x-axis, okay, tells us the type of technology and lists the different pieces of technology: computer, TV, telephone, radio, iPod, and webcam. And up the y-axis, it tells us the number of users, and in brackets it says in millions. So this would be 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and so on. So now let's say we were given the question, how many people use telephones? What we would do is we would have to look across the type of technology to find telephone, and here it is. Now, step to success 2 says to locate the correct column, which we have. Now, steps to success 3 says to work your way up to the top of the bar. So we find the column, telephone, and we work our way up to the top of the bar. Then, using a ruler, step 4 tells us to read across from the top of the bar to the axis. So using a ruler, we would line it up and go across to the next axis. And that leads us to 8. But remember, it's not just 8, it's 8 million. So the answer to how many people use telephones is 8 million, which, as a number, is represented like that. Another little skill that's often used in bar charts is you'll sometimes find that the columns or bars don't always meet the top, like here, here, and here. So when we get the ruler and we mark our way across, we realise that we are between two numbers. So here we're between 4 and we're between 5. So we have to work out what is halfway between 4 and 5, and the answer to that is 4.5. So if we were to look at radio again, we would work our way up to the top of the bar. Using a ruler, we would go across, and we would find ourselves between 3 and 4. And the number, or decimal, that's halfway between 3 and 4 is 3.5. And finally, over here, webcam. Again, we work our way to the top of the bar. Using a ruler, we drag across to our y-axis, and we're between 0 and 1. And that would mean that webcam is used by 0.5 million people. Another popular question that's asked in bar charts is how many people voted altogether, or how many people were asked altogether, or here, how many people were surveyed altogether. So what this is asking for is basically it's wanting you to find out the total of all the bars together. Now this question is a longer process, so stay with it. So what we would do is we'd take each column, computer, work our way up, and find that this is between 4 and 5, so this is 4.5. We would then go along to the next one, TV, work our way up to 6, as we've been told previously. Then we'd go along, same process again, find the column, work our way up to the top, use a ruler, go across, we've got 8. Next one, radio, so go along up the column, right to the very top, and come across again. That leads us to between 3 and 4, so that must be 3.5. After that, we have got iPod, so we work the way up, and we use a ruler again to go right the way across, and it's 1, nice and easy. And then finally, we have webcam, which is over here, work our way up, only a small section this time, but again using a ruler, go right the way across, it's between 0 and 1, so therefore the answer must be 0.5. So now that we've discovered how much each bar is worth, we now know altogether how many people were surveyed. All we have to do now is add them all up. Now 4.5, add 6, add 8, add 3.5, add 1, add 1.5 equals 23.5. Now remember, it's not just 23.5, but it's 23.5 million people. So 23.5 million people were surveyed altogether. And that would be our answer.